making up for you.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for that very kind introduction, Kerry, and thank you to Reed Corporate for putting on this event. Well, this is our first outing, or my first outing, in Mitre Mining. So you're very lucky. This is the first presentation after the acquisition of the Cerro Bio project in Chile. What we've done here is something that I think is very, very special. It's special because it's a low-cost acquisition. It comes with fantastic infrastructure and a very prospective area with a management team that I'm sure you've all heard of before, that have been with me on many, many journeys, two of which Kerry mentioned before. The disclaimer, as I get older, these disclaimers seem to get longer. Here they go. Okay, why invest in Mitre? As I mentioned to you before, this opportunity is very, very special. This was bought for just over $4 million. As I said, we settled on this on Monday and Tuesday this week, where both sets of shareholders agreed on the acquisition. I'm going to take you through the infrastructure that we bought and the resource that we bought. This will be one of the, and this is a silver play. I want you to understand that we're really after silver, and I'll try and take you through why I think silver is the place to be in the next couple of years. This is the team. Kerry's given you a bit of my background as the founding chairman of Bellevue. You'll note there that Tim Lannery, the chief geo, he's the person that's done most of the work on this particular asset. Splendid work indeed that he's done, and I'm happy to say that in a part of the acquisition came with it with Damien Kerber, who is now our Chief Operating Officer. There's nothing he doesn't know about this asset and about South America in general. He's bilingual, he's Australian born, but he spends most of his life in South America. I'm very, very lucky to have Steve Parsons and Mike Naylor, who I've worked with for over 15 years, help me on this project as well. It's all about people. You must have heard me say this millions of times. Projects will remain just projects. It's people that develop and create shareholder value. Very simple capital structure. As you can see there, the pro forma balance sheet there, or share structure, will have about $5.1 million in cash at the end of this transaction. And we will own this project 100%. We have an enterprise value of just over $11 million. And when I take you through what we already have, I think you'll have to agree that this is very investable. But why silver? Well, I'm going to be very brief on this, but it used to be the poor cousin of gold. You know, people used to try and convert silver to gold and all that. Sure, you can do that, and just for your benefit, you can say it's 80 to 1. So 1 million ounces of gold equals 80 million ounces of silver. But it's really broken away from gold, I believe, and the reason is it's on the critical minerals list, and it's essential for modern living. So here we have the investment highlights. So the upside here is quite substantial. We currently have 25 million ounces of silver equivalent. In the market today, that resource is usually around $2 an ounce. So you can see we picked it up for $4 million, we picked it up for 16 cents an ounce. With that, though, came an enormous amount of infrastructure. That infrastructure is valued today at $150 million. And that's all surface infrastructure I'm talking about. We have over 10 megawatts of power. We have 3 turbines that generate 1.8 megawatts of power and 6 gensets, each with 1.5 megawatts. The plant itself, which I'll show you shortly, only needs 5 megawatts of power. So we've got green energy, we've got backup energy, and we have a plant. So this is where it is. So for all of those that don't know Chile very well, this is what you would know as Patagonia, the northern tip of Patagonia. So a quick flight to Santiago, another 2-hour flight from Santiago to Malmacedo, and then a short 4.5-hour drive to site. its site is only 10 minutes from a town called Chile Chico, which is fully serviced. It's one of the best sites for access infrastructure that I've ever worked on or seen. So drilling down to the site itself, you can see that red dot there. That's the site that we'll be focused on today. Here we have 25 million ounces of silver equivalent at over 200 grams per tonne. Here it is drilled in from satellite. So you can see the Lake Verde there, which is the green bit there, and the pit is to the left there. You can see it outlined in pink. But you can see, most importantly, that the processing facilities, which are still operational if I could turn it on tomorrow, are only 100 metres away. So this is open pit and underground, and all of those structures are, at this moment, can be worked on. Drilling again, and this is we will be drilling all around this. So our 6,000 metre drill campaign will be in this area. But what you can see in this next slide is that in cross section. So it goes down about 300 metres, the drive, all open. It's fully functional, great rock integrity. But most importantly, what you can see is every one of those pink dots that you see in that diagram there, they are over 280 grams per tonne intercepts, and they are outside our 25 million ounce resource. I was going to say that again. Look at that. That's all those dots. They're real intercepts at over 280 grams. Now they're all going north-south, but it's down plunge as well. So I've opened that slide up a bit further, and again, all of those pink dots are over 280 gram dots of intercepts. And that is what we'll be drilling. It's what you call low-hanging fruit in our game. But what we picked up here is not just Cerro, but we also picked up a regional play as well. This is really important to understand. Our aim here is not to produce gold immediately. Our aim is to understand this huge ore body. We want to see this can get to 100 million ounces. We think it's achievable. It's a lot of hard work to get there. It's not there yet, but it's something that we've got our eye on. So we want to understand the ore body. We want to define the ore body, and the way you do that is spending money in the drill bit, and that's what we've done successfully for many, many years. But also we have district scale ore bodies. So here's two more ore bodies that have these results. You can read for yourself there, these fantastic grades, and we won't be getting to that for some 6 to 12 months. We might throw a few exploratory holes down, but it just gives you the scale. It's over 300 square kilometres of very prospective, narrow vein silver running to surface. What do we got here now? So this is the infrastructure that we picked up. This got a light on it. Anyway, just if you look at the road there, you might be able to see, but can you see 3 wind turbines? Those 3 wind turbines create about 1.8 megawatts of power. But then you've got housing for 150 workers. You've got 200,000 square metres of offices. We've got warehouses, we've got equipment, and all of that is absolutely essential. We own our own rig. The rig starts in 10 days' time. And we'll start drilling all of those spots that I just took you through. But one of the real keys, I think, here for us is that we come with a fully certified assay lab. We drill, we assay, 24 hours later we know what we're doing. Now, I've worked all around the world, and particularly around Sweden and Europe, where I currently have some operations. It can take 12-week turnaround in assay. So you're drilling and not really knowing what you've got for 12 weeks. Here I've got 24 hours and I can say, let's keep that rig where it is. That you have to understand the great advantage that has for us. And that all of this that you see on this screen came for $4.5 million. It shows you exactly what I've been talking about for so long. It's people that create value. And the previous owners probably didn't do such a good job at that. But we're still good friends with them. But the list goes on. That infrastructure you see there's power, there's roads, there's warehouses, there's offices, there's sleeping quarters. You can see the facilities right next to the open pit to there on your left. Access is just fabulous. So, what happens? Well, have a look at the graph on your right in particular. It says to me right now that we have 25 million ounces and a mill. If people that have got market caps and greater value, they're with no mill, no infrastructure. The last transaction that occurred in Peru just to our north was someone bought 40 million tonnes at about 200 grams for 65 million Australia, which is about $1.60 per resource ounce. We've got 25 stand-up start. More evidence that, there's it's a world-class deposit in the making. News flow, which is what you all want to hear, isn't it? I mean, you want to make sure that what I'm doing, you hear first. And what we've got here is that very first top arrow is we've completed the acquisition. Now we're doing a lot of data sampling, then drilling, and our first resource update I have there in the second quarter. I'm hoping it'll come out earlier than that. 25 million in the can now. I'm going to update that in the next 4 weeks. And grade continues. As I showed you in previous slides, a long strike at depth and down plunge. So I think it's a world-class asset, bought for a world-class price, and I think that we've got world-class management. Thank you very much.